that's the good news.
Myron, I see you're here. Okay, excellent. So just give us a quick rundown for what's going on now, 3 years after the election.
Well, thank you, Wolfgang. I'm really sorry I can't be with you, but I hope that your conference has been a great success. I know it's taken place under some difficult circumstances, and I hope that made it even better. Well, I think I mostly have good news from Washington, D.C., the center of the universe. President Trump, as you know, promised during the campaign in 2016 to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Treaty. On November 4th of this year, the State Department sent the letter on the first day that it was legally possible under the terms of the treaty. The State Department sent the letter to the UN Secretary General announcing that our withdrawal will take effect on the first day that it legally can under the treaty, and that is November 4th, 2020, the day after our general election. So I think that's very good news. This is the largest deregulatory action, and I think one of the most politically difficult actions that the president has undertaken. He did say at a speech in Pittsburgh in late October, he said, you know, everybody told me how tough this was going to be to get out of Paris, but every time I bring it up, people cheer and applaud. So I think it remains immensely popular in the United States. The other deregulatory actions of the Trump administration on energy and climate are moving forward, but some of them have been slower than we hoped. Partly that's due to the incompetence or lack of experience of some of the people doing it. Some of it's due to the opposition of the deep state, particularly at the Environmental Protection Agency. And then we have the so-called Clean Power Plan has been repealed. It's in court, of course. The environmental groups in many states are suing. So it is now possible once again to build a new coal-fired power plant in this country. There is one on the board that might be built, and I hope that in the next 5 to 10 years some more will be built. We have other rules. The CAFE rules on fuel economy in vehicles is moving forward. California has been told that they can't run it, that California is not in charge of what kinds of cars Americans can buy, and that the EPA and the Department of Transportation will figure that out, not California. And of course, California is suing. So these rules are moving forward, and I think they'll all be final before, late next spring. And that's the good news. On the other side, some states have decided that they are going to take the path of the European Union and starve themselves of energy, increase energy costs for consumers and producers, drive manufacturing out, drive energy production out. They're led by California, but also New York and the New England states like Massachusetts. But the heartland states have responded really quite dramatically to the Trump deregulatory agenda. Manufacturing is coming back to places like Ohio and Indiana, where electric rates are still low. This is an area of the country, the heartland states, the near Mid-East, that has been in stagnant or in decline for the past 20 years up until 2017. And you now see, I've visited many towns and cities in the last few months in that part of the world, and you see that people are optimistic. One manufacturer who's been in coal mining and he's been in manufacturing told me a couple of weeks ago, and he's in his, I think, late 70s, he told me that President Trump has been better for the economy in his part of the world, the Ohio, West Virginia, Indiana, than any other president. And his wife, who was sitting next to us at lunch, said, well, but what about Reagan? And he said, no, Reagan was great. Reagan did a lot of good things, but on the economy, the Trump agenda has been better for us, and things are really looking up. So I think we are a beacon to the world. We are showing an alternative path of light and energy, and this is going to be, it's going to become more and more apparent that the path that Europe and California have chosen is the wrong one. It's bad for people. It doesn't do anything for the climate. As you know, global emissions keep going up. The curve has not been bent as a result of 30 years of energy rationing policies to subsidize and mandate more expensive types of energy. So the EU and California and your other allies have achieved nothing. And the United States has said that officially we're on the path of abundant and affordable energy. The United States, as a result of the shale oil revolution, is now the world's largest producer of oil and gas. For a couple of months this year, for the first time since 1949, the United States is a net exporter of oil. In 2020, I think that the U.S. will be a net exporter of oil every single month. The U.S. is a net exporter of natural gas. And so we are, instead of having hundreds of billions of dollars every year in trade deficits over oil and gas, we are now making money in global trade on oil and gas, and that's a tremendous boon to our economy. So I think things are, on the whole, they're looking good. We've got the problem of California, New York, and a few other states. But I think generally the American people are pretty happy that our gasoline costs about, 1/4 of what yours costs, or 1/3. And not in California. It's closer to you. It's up to around $1 or maybe even €1 per liter in California. But it's a lot less than that where I live here on the East Coast in Washington, D.C. So I'll leave it at that, Wolfgang, and I hope you have had a great conference. Again, I'm sorry I can't be there, but it's nice to have this brief connection to you all.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Myron. Okay, see you sometime soon. Okay, bye then. Have a nice day. Okay, bye then.
Bye.
Okay, die Frage- und Antwortrunde, die machen wir bei der nächsten Konferenz.